Yeah, I think that. Oh, okay, let's get into. Let's start with slow over rates. Back when I wrote Cricket with Balls, I said that you should be the penalty for slow over rates should be sodomy, and part of the reason I said actually it wasn't sodomy. That's wrong. It was being gelded. People like sodomy. No one likes being gelded. And sorry, I'm entertaining myself if no one else here, but I always made a lot of fun of it. There was no reason for it. Back in those days, I remember Dan Vittori coming out once and saying, yeah, we could bowl our 90 overs easily. We slow down because it's tactically advantageous. And it is. Like, go to first-class games. Teams motor through their overs. It is possible to do it. What we've created at international level is just dreadful. We allow teams to just get away with anything. I was with Scotland for that World Cup qualifiers. The umpires weren't letting players come onto the field with drinks when players were like passing out, right? Like Kyle Kutzer ended up, sick in his innings, and the umpires were stopping extra drinks coming onto the field in UAE. And that doesn't happen in the top level international games. We just let teams do whatever they want. The problem is not teams bowling slow. The problem is teams bowling slow, teams batting slower than ever before. Batters have never been slower than how they currently are. That's just true. Teams bat really slow. We then have a million different reviews and pauses in the game for all sorts of different things. The problem with slow over rates is not just teams not hustling through the field. It is everything, a combination of everything. Here's the other problem with it. The ICC and cricket boards don't mind it. If you've got a one-day game, you want it to go longer. You want it to be on TV for longer. If you've got a test game, that extra half an hour is like a bonus. They want that to happen. And if we gave them that extra half an hour as part of the day's play, they would then stretch that to try and make that an extra half an hour as well, right? That's more ads. That's more eyeballs watching for longer, especially day tests as it goes into prime time. It's like, there isn't a will to fix this. So my problem is that what really needs to be fixed is the system from the ground up when it comes to over rates. I have no problem with teams being penalised. It looks to me, from what I've heard, that we're going to have almost like a shot clock situation where, okay, this is the batting team slowing the game down so the bowling team doesn't get penalised here. We're a lot smarter with it than we used to be on those sorts of things. But, this is a situation that could be fixed quite easily. And it's not being fixed because the ICC and cricket boards do not want to fix it. And maybe the World Test Championship, because of the points, will change that a little bit. I've got no problem with teams if a team's purposely being slow, I've got no problem with them doing that. I know there's this new moving tide out there where people are like, oh, it doesn't matter how many overs you have in a day, and we're here to be entertained. Ask the people who used to watch the 60 overs a day what they felt. We need a penalty because it could. What's to stop teams going for 20 overs a day, right? Umpires are not strong enough to be able to do that the way that they are currently employed and used. So realistically, I think that the best thing will probably be a points deduction, and the World Test Championship I think is quite good for that. But we need to be looking at how slow the game is in every way, not just the bowling thing.